Hello, welcome back to We Are City channel for the start of Season 3 of our FC 26 Manchester City career mode. Of course, in the last season, trophy celebrations for the City side as they went on to win the UEFA Champions League. That is how we ended things. A Champions League trophy for Pep Guardiola. And the question, does Pep Guardiola leave Manchester City? Does he move on? Is it time up for Pep at City? And we did expect it to be Pep for time up, to call it ending of his 11 years at the club. And we even put out votes in the, of course, the community post that we do votes on. We put a vote out. Who should be the next manager if Vincent Kompany is available? 37% voted in favour of Vini Jr, the Bournemouth manager, coming in and being Manchester City manager. And that was the intention going into Season 3. Iraola to join Manchester City. That was what exactly was going to happen for this side. However, if he brought in Iraola, what would the side look like? Well, Iraola would come in and be the new manager of Manchester City. He would bring in a new sort of style, but still an intense kind of football. He would come in and be the manager. Big step up for someone from Bournemouth to Manchester City. And could he really take the reins and take over a team in such a situation to try and win the Premier League, to compete at the highest level? He'd bring in players like strikers, like Santiago Castro from Bologna. That was the intention. He'd bring in a mid-defender, a new defender to replace Ruben Diaz, and Ousmane Diomande, the Ivorian, to be at our centre-back role. And also he'd bring in a new full-back in Wesley from AS Roma. And he'd build a new Manchester City side with Vini Jr looking something like this here. And this is what the side would look like. So it's a little bit different to what we are used to, what we expected. City would play in a 4-2-3-1 formation. And they would go like this with Haaland up top through the middle. And then we work back further through the team. You've got Marmoush in the 10, Semenyo and Doku in the wide areas. Doku brought back into the side after that fall with Pep Guardiola. Nico and Reigns in the midfield. And then that would be the back four. The likes of Anderson, Castro, Savinho, and so on the bench for Manchester City. And that is what the squad will look like. However, another vote came to the live chat because, of course, Jeremy Doku on the fringe of the side fell out with Pep Guardiola. If Pep Guardiola stays, Doku would have to go. And a man, one of the biggest players in world football, Vinicius Jr, dropped an absolute transfer bomb. He said, I want to leave Real Madrid. My contract is coming to an end. I've decided to leave. Real Madrid are very unhappy with him. We played them in the Champions League final. We beat them. And we're about to take their star player, perhaps because you guys voted and you said we've got a choice. Pep stays for another maybe 2 years, maybe another year. He'll sign a contract extension. But with him comes Vinicius Jr, who wants to play under Pep Guardiola. Or Pep Guardiola leaves and Vinicius Jr leaves Real Madrid but moves to the Saudi Pro League. You guys got your votes in. A massive 76% voted in favour of Pep Guardiola staying at Manchester City for 2 more years, signing a contract extension, and with him comes a big signing because we're going to bring in on a free transfer Real Madrid's Vinicius Jr. Get ready for Season 3. So with Pep Guardiola staying, there isn't going to be the massive change to the squad that we expected. Marcus Bettinelli will be sticking around. Augusto Batalla, he's going to stick around as our second choice goalkeeper for the season. He's impressed being in that role. He's happy in that role. And the Argentine is going absolutely nowhere. And like I said, there's not going to be such massive change to the squad. Pep wants to keep the squad similar to what he's got already. Gigi Donnarumma will stay as Manchester City's #1 goalkeeper. 92 rated, and he's been an absolute superstar for this club for many years now. And in the Champions League final, he's fantastic. Now, we conceded way too many goals last season. Defensively, we're looking to up the side this year. That might be where we concentrate some of our signs as well. But that does mean that James Trafford on loan at Burnley, he's going to be let go on a permanent deal. Unfortunately, James Trafford's just not going to get his chance at the club. He's not going to play backup. He's not happy to play backup. He wants to play #1 goalkeeper. And I assume he'll go to another Premier League side. I mean, that seems like the right move for him. And he's not going to start at Gigi Donnarumma. And our final goalkeeper in the squad is Jack Wint. He's going to be joining Bastia on loan when the transfer window opens. He's a young goalkeeper. We've got high hopes for the future of him at the club. And maybe he can be a future goalkeeper at this side. Maybe he can be second choice goalkeeper after Batalla leaves, or maybe third choice after Bettinelli leaves. A young goalkeeper who needs game time, but with it I think will come experience and maybe enough to be a top goalkeeper for this team. In fullback areas, we've got Ryan Knight, the left back, 25 years of age now, 85 rated. He really has developed, but he's not really been a key member of the squad so much throughout this season. Maybe that'll change this year. However, we are looking to change things tactically to try and fit in some new signs. So we will go through that towards the end of the episode. How we are going to change tactically for this to work a new season. And it does mean Realism Jr will be sort of on the back bench a little bit in terms of when he plays. However, he will play a certain role in terms of us being pragmatic. He's been back up really to Nico O'Reilly throughout his time at Manchester City. He's been an absolute superstar left back for us. Only 22 years of age. He's come from the City youth system. And in this upcoming year, Nico O'Reilly isn't going to be playing left back anymore. The intention is to play more in a central midfield role where he's more comfortable. He's going to back up those players there. Christian McFarland's on loan at Andorra. He's hung out another loan, but I mean, look at that. He's grown to 68 rated, the young fullback. He's developing well, certainly on for the future. I mean, he's been described as very similar to Alphonso Davies. So that sort of really does make me think, okay, that's the sort of fullback we want on the side. Jumabar on loan at Aston Villa. He doesn't want a new contract. He's got 1 year left in his deal, by the way. And also, he wants to leave the club. He's not happy to go out on loan again. He either goes in the first team this season or he leaves. Now, with Pep Guardiola staying, I don't think we're going to get rid of Ruben Dias. So I think Jumabar goes. Ahmed will go on another loan. I think that's the intention. I mean, 6'3", 19 years of age, 65 rated. I do think there's a future for him here at Manchester City at centre-back. He'll go out on loan again. But I won't put it past him in making it in the City side eventually. I mean, he can play right back, can play right midfield. So we'll have to see. Simpson Puzé, he's probably going to leave on a permanent. I think between him and Max Alain, the two boys that have been on loan at Sunderland, the two centre-backs, both 73 rated, both 21 years of age. I think Jemai Simpson-Puzé is more pushing to be a first-team player and wants to leave permanently, whereas Max Lane's more willing to wait a little bit longer in his development and continue developing somewhere else. So we'll try and get another loan for him. Maybe at a higher level than Sunderland, maybe in another league as well. Those loan moves are really important for these players for the future. Vita Icebury sticking around. He's now 77 rated. Continue to let him grow. Continue to let him play in those positions. I think he's been really good for us when he has played. So we'll find space for him again this season. I think he's going to be playing maybe a little bit more, hopefully, than he did last year in this upcoming season. Goncalo Alvera on loan at Girona. Of course, he's on a 2-year loan there. So he'll spend another season at Girona, which is fine by me. I think that is suited for him in his game. He's 69 rated at 20. But again, we've got high hopes for him to develop into quite a decent ball-playing defender. John Stones is leaving the club. He's agreed a deal to join Stuttgart on a free transfer at the end of his contract. So that is one centre-back down. I mean, I can't believe he's 85 rated at 33 years of age. He doesn't play like that, though, does he? So John Stones is going to leave the club. Been a great servant. Loved him here. Loved his time here. But time is up for John Stones. Captain Ruben Dias, captain of the club, will be sticking around. I know people seem to have a bit of a problem with Dias. We haven't been great defensively all around last season. But Dias, I think, at the heart of a back three, looks a way more comfortable defender than on the right at the left of a back four. It does expose him. So I think we're going to play a back three in the upcoming season. Try and help him out defensively. And the man on the left-hand side of him will be this man, Joshko Vardiol, can play left mid, left back, centre-back. Incredibly important to the side. 88 rated, our highest rated defender, and by far our best defender as well, I think, time and time again throughout the season. His pace, his quality, his ability on the ball, he's unmatched with all the others, and I think he's going to have to be considered our key defender alongside Dias. Now, they didn't work together in a back two, but we'll have to see. I mean, there's this man, Abu Qadir Kusanov, who can play in a back three with them. Can play right back and play centre back. He's only 23, he's still got a bit of being developed to go. I would say he's had some really, really special performances, Kusanov, last season, but also some not so special performances either, which does worry me. I'm not exactly sure which sort of path his development's going to take yet. Stefan Muffin's going to join Swansea City on a season loan. I mean, he's going to be the Joshko Vardiol backup, I think, pretty soon in the future. Young defender, 63 rated. I think he comes back 70 plus rated from his loan. And then you see the sort of superstar he can be at Manchester City, Stefan Muffini. Big hopes for him as a youngster. But now it's time to go and get some first team football in the Championship. Lacal Samuel, he's going to go out on loan again. I mean, he's currently on loan at Bristol City till the end of the season. But I think he's going to go out on loan again. I think that is the right move for him. 21 years of age. Is he going to make it at Manchester City? Probably not. I think that the chances are he won't make it at City. But we'll have to see. That things do change quickly in football. A really good loan move for him. A really good bit of development. And he could find his way back into the side. But I'm not so overly confident with him making it at Manchester City. We do have right backs already. And one of those is Matheus Nunes. And Matheus Nunes, I think his time is up at Manchester City. He's been absolutely brilliant for us. 80 rated. He's been fantastic. But I think our defence hasn't been great. And it's time to take that defence to another level. and bring in another right back ahead of Matheus Nunes. We, of course, have Omar El Hilali, we'll get on to. But Matheus Nunes, I want to let go. Omar El Hilali is going to be going nowhere. 83 rated, played that Champions League final, 23 years of age. He was our first signing in this career mode, wasn't he? And so far, he's been absolutely brilliant. So that makes up the defenders and the goalkeepers' defensive side of the game. So we are looking to bring in a defender now. Of course, we mentioned Adoni Iraola would have brought in his Manny Diamande. I don't think we're going to do that, but we're going to bring in a left-sided defender and we're going to bring in a right-sided fullback as well. Mirza Katovic, playing alone at Hull City, 67 rated. He's another one that we're going to let go out on loan again. I think that suits him to go out on loan again. So he's 6'2", 20 years of age. He's developing reasonably well. I mean, he is, again, one we look at and think, could he be in the future, this side? I mean, this side could look very different in the future. This side could look very, very different in the future with these young players we've got. And, of course, Matthias Siltonen as well, on loan at Leicester City. We're going to get him out loan again, whether it's to Leicester again. I mean, he spent 2 seasons on loan there. He's been a really, really good signing, I think, for the future. Again, only 20 years of age, 71 rated. Another one that he's steadily working in his development. And he's only 5'9", so I don't think his future lies at holding midfielder, but maybe as a sort of central midfielder. Now, Rodri was a player that we were willing to let go if Iraola came in. Rodri would have said, no, it's time at Manchester City now. I'm 30 years of age. I want to return to Spain. I don't want to be managed anyone other than Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. But Pep Guardiola stays, and his number one man in the whole midfield, Rodri, does stay. And I think he's going to play a key part, as always. I mean, he's back to his best, 92 rated. There's no one better. He's the only man to win the Ballon d'Or on this City side, although I think in this save, we might have seen Erling Haaland win it. If we haven't, maybe we will see him win it this season. And he's going to partner in a defensive midfield this season, because I think I am going to play 2 holding midfielders this year. So it's looking like it's going to be, in my mind, a back 3 with a 2 holding midfielders in front. And the other one will be Nico Gonzalez. 25 years of age. I think he's underrated, particularly underrated. And I feel like him playing in a holding midfield tandem with Rodri, backed up by Reinders or Anderson or Nico O'Reilly, those two will be a nice solid base in front of a solid back 3. And I think that's where this side will be a decent and a much better platform to be defensive next season. We'll go into that, of course, the tactics that I'm looking at playing. But yeah, Nico Gonzalez, I really do like him. I think him and Rodri really could complement each other in that midfield. A man who I think is going to play a little bit further forward this upcoming season is Tajani Reinders. I don't quite trust him in holding midfield areas. I don't think he's quite physical enough. He's not a dual winner enough to do that, despite being 6'1" and quite a big man. Now, he's 89 rated, so he's at a real part of his career where he's at his peak. He's 28 years of age, so we need to play him and utilise him. The same goes for Anderson, who's slowly building towards being a bit more of a starter for Manchester City. 24 years of age now, 84 rated. I think he's been a very good sign. I think all the signs we've made have hit the ground running, haven't they? If you think of all the signs we've made in this career mode, I wouldn't say one has been unsuccessful. Now, if there ever was an unsuccessful signing, then we'd have to look towards moving them on. And it does happen in football and real life. It might happen with us. But he's been great so far. Seven Naipan, I mean, 78 rated already. I think he's a Premier League loan away from being a Manchester City first team player. I think that is it. This season 3, he's not going to be in the first team. Season 4, he gets in the first team. We find a way in the first team for him, because he'll be 21, the Norwegian, or 22 maybe, 80 rated, 80 plus rated. There's no way we don't play him. Excuse me, Rico Lewis. He's going to have to leave the club. I mean, he's 83 rated, 22 years of age. That ordinarily is absolutely fantastic. He's only 5'7". He struggles with the physicality of the game. He's not happy with his play time. He's not happy with not playing enough games for Manchester City, and understandably so. And he's decided he wants to leave the club, and that's fine. So he'll be going. We've got a couple of youth players. Floyd Samba. He's going to go out on loan this season, I think. Been part of the youth system. Only very young still. 61 rated. No pressure on him to be something he's not. We'll let him go and develop maybe in the Premier League. I mean, the Premier League's probably unlikely. Probably in League 2, League 1. And sort of work his way up. The same goes that for Harrison Miles, who's going to be allowed to leave the club on loan somewhere as well, because they are playing for the academy. But these young players are now at the position where they're on the fringe of the first team, sort of getting appearances in the cup competitions and so on. But I think we need to move them on and let them develop somewhere else. And that is the right move for them. Divan Mukasa, who is going to be a part of the squad next season. He's 67 rated at the moment, but I think when we come back in the summer, he's going to be 70 plus rated. That's how the development sometimes changes. Him and Makadu have sort of been stalling their development overall waiting rise anyway, and they're going to absolutely blitz forward, I'm sure. Phil Foden's been out with an ACL injury. He's gone down to 87 rated. Excuse me, key player. Absolutely key player. So there's no way we let Phil Foden not be part of the City side. So he's going to be part of it in some way. I'm very, very excited to have him back. And then, I mean, the man who's shone in Phil Foden's absence is Ryan Shaqiri, 23 years of age, 86 rated. I feel like he could reach 90 by the end of Season 3 or Season 4 anyway. He has that potential to do so. It was absolutely fantastic, stats-wise, assists, goals, and so on. He's been an unbelievable player for this Manchester City team. Echeverri's been alone at Brentford. Under Iraola, I would have put him in the first team, but under Pep Guardiola, I'm not. I think he's going to have one more loan move, get him to 80 plus rated, and then we'll find a space for him. Finley Gorman's unhappy. He wants to leave the club. He's not happy that he's not getting chances, so he'll probably be sold with a buyback option, and then we'll look to bring him back to the City side in the future. I think that is the intention with Finley Gorman. There is high hopes for him to be a good player, but I mean, he's the lowest rated current player in the squad. He's not really developing in the academy. Julian Dalla, he's going to be leaving on a permanent deal. He's on loan to Sheffield United. They've got an option to buy him for like 3 or 4 million. So I'm pretty sure in this episode they will make that permanent deal. 72 rated, 20 years of age. Want to keep an eye on it in his development, but I just don't think he's quite going to reach the heights of the other wingers that we've got in and around the Manchester City side. Of course, a shame for this one, Jeremy Doku. He will be leaving the club. If Iraola came in, we would have sort of rectified things with Jeremy Doku, but Pep Guardiola and Doku had a falling out. I mean, it does happen in football. In this save, it's happened. So Jeremy Doku will be leaving Manchester City. We'll find a move away from the club for him. Big shame, because he's one of my favourite players. But he doesn't want to play at City. He's not going to play at City. And in his place is that one man in Savinho is in bad form, it says. 85 rated at 23. There's something there in that player. I mean, towards the end of the season, we saw there's something there in this player. I don't know how much game time he's going to play in this upcoming season, especially with the sort of signs we're looking to make, but we'll have to see. Regan Heskey on loan at Angers. He's going to go out on loan again this season and hopefully come back an even better player. He's another one that I think can make it in the first team. A real exciting winger. And when he's played in pre-season or whatever, he's got those little opportunities. He's actually always really impressed me. He's a physical winger as well. Antoine Semenyo, one of the best signs we've ever made in a series, I think. I mean, the numbers don't lie. He was absolutely unbelievable last year. Obliterated anything I expected him to do in terms of goals and assists and performance level. And the fact that he's only 84 rated is crazy. He should be 86, 87 rated. There should be sort of some thing in the AFC 26 that they understand the player's development and make him higher rated. Oscar Bob, he's going to leave the club. He's not happy. He's not happy. I mean, he says he's happy with his playtime there, but he's not. He wants to play more football. At 23, 80 rated now, he needs to find his way, his feet in the side. And I think he needs to find his way at a Premier League club. And unfortunately, that looks like it's going to be away from Manchester City. Mark Orithos, a player, again, under Adoni Iraola, the intention was for him to be at the club. I think under Pep Guardiola, he's going to go out another loan. He's done really well at Sporting, really well there. I think a Premier League loan, and next year he's in the squad as well. We've got so many high potential, already highly rated young players. We've got to find a way for them. And the same goes for Ryan McAdoo, who is going to come back a higher rated like Mikasa. I think he'll come back 75 rated in the summer. And then we'll see. This is right at the end of last season. We're looking at these players. So in the summer he comes back a much higher rated player. A player for the future of Manchester City without a shadow of a doubt. He looks good whenever he plays. And Michael Noonan, only 18 still. He's going out on loan again. He's been at Bodo Glimt. He's on a decent loan there. He's grown by 3 overall ratings. He's a striker for the future of the club. Irish international. Yeah, we'll load him out again. Probably to, hopefully, a better league. Haaland's going absolutely nowhere. He's Pep Guardiola's #1 man. City's #9. Pep stays. Haaland stays. 93 rated. Again, broke the goal scoring record last season. I intend to try and break it again in Season 3. No doubt about that. He is going absolutely nowhere. And the same really goes for his strike partner, Marmoush. I think maybe Marmoush should play more considering the stats and the numbers he puts up. 86 rated. Maybe he doesn't play enough. I mean, under Iraola, if he'd come in, Marmoush is going to play in behind Haaland in that hole and actually play ahead of Foden, ahead of Shaqiri. I don't know what Marmoush's future is exactly because of that, but he will play for us without a doubt. And then David Mabama, he's on loan at West Ham. He's had a good loan there. He's grown by 4 at West Ham United back at his old side. he will be leaving the club permanently. He's 22 years of age now, a striker. He needs to find a permanent deal away from the club. I'm hoping to get around 6-7 million for him. Del, the young Brazilian, he's going to be joining Villarreal when the transfer window opens. I think a La Liga loan for him is great. I mean, he's only small, 5'8", but he has been referred to as the Brazilian Haaland. Similar in play style, despite not physique. I think he's going to be great for us in the future, and I keep an eye on his development at Villarreal. I think he could really take things to another level there. And finally, striker Mamadou Sangare, great loan, grown by 12 at La Palmas, a Premier League loan next season. I think he goes to the next level completely. So, players that we said we were looking at letting go. Rico Lewis only played 18 games last season. Matheus Nunes only played 24 games last season. These are players that didn't play enough games for us at all. Oscar only played 26 games. So these are players that are playing under 30 games, not happy with the club. And that confirms really why they should be going. John Stones only 28 games as well. Of course, he's already agreed a free transfer to Stuttgart. And here is some of the transfer targets we're going to look at for the season. Then starting off, we said we wanted to bring in a right-sided defender, someone who can play full-back, can play centre-back maybe, judging the way we're going to play. That is Tino Livramento, City's #1 choice in that option. In that position, maybe he should be our #1 choice. We've also got Gerard Branthwaite, so we're looking at English players as well, left-footed centre-back. Now, we've had lots of trouble in defence, 6'5", big physical force, always looked decent when we've played against Everton, so he's an option as well for the season. In the wide areas, I'm looking at someone like Antonio Nusa, only 22 years of age, 91 rated. Of course, we're trying to replace a Jeremy Doku, aren't we? So that is what we're looking at. So Antonio Nusa certainly could be a good option. We've also got in there Malik Fofana, who's at Lyon, very similar sort of player. We've got good history at Lyon, bringing in Ryan Cherki from there, so he's an option as well. And then you've got, Bradley Barcola from PSG, who would be an upper echelon trying to sign in to replace Jeremy Doku. 87 rated, great pace, great dribbling, great shooting. Levels above the other two players we've looked at. But we're going to look at a player that's levels above absolutely everyone. And that is, of course, this man, Vinicius Jr. He wants to join Manchester City. He wants to move to the club. He's available on a free transfer, which is crazy. We cannot let that deal slip. So yeah, looking at Tino Livramento, we talk about their players as well. Also their potential, what they rate them at. So he's got potential between 86 and 90. I mean, 90 potential is crazy for a fullback. No one better to replace Kyle Walker. And you can actually look at team stats as well now, which is a really cool feature. And look at that, you see he played 51 games, so he's definitely fit. 6 goals and 4 assists from fullback, 8 clean sheets. I like that a lot. Gerard Branthwaite, he's got a potential of 88. So again, another sort of English superstar. 88 potential for a young English player is certainly something you look at and think, wow, he could be a really good signing for us. Expensive, maybe. Is he the right man? I don't know. He's only got 76 pace, which is fast. But is it fast enough? Now, he's not got a problem with actually playing games. So he played 43 games for Everton last season. No goals, no assists, 7 clean sheets in that time. Not the best performances from Gerard Branthwaite. But we know his quality. We've played against him enough times to know how good this man is. And they're the sort of defensive options we're looking at. There will be others as well. Antonio Nusa, an attacking option, 91 potential, which makes you think, wow. I mean, a minimum of 85 potential is expected from our scouts. Stat-wise, not great though. Only 3 goals and only 3 assists in all competitions last season. 27 games is not what you want to see. Malik Fofana's got an 88-82 potential, so he's a bit lower than Antonio Nusa. But of course, it depends on how they perform at the club, how we do things with them. And looking at him, he's got 10 goals and 4 assists in 40 games, so actually better than Nusa. Might swing things more in his favour. But these are sort of just backup options to the main man, aren't they, really? These are just the players just to make you think that maybe we'll go for someone else when we know exactly what we're going to do. The other one is, of course, Bradley Barcola. 90 potential, which is actually lower than Nusa, which surprises me. Bradley Barcola, because he's already 87. I think he'd get higher rate than that. I mean, getting a player out of Paris Saint-Germain is not easy. City took Donnarumma away, but of course they wanted Donnarumma to go. But his stats aren't impressive at all. He played only 4 games last season with PSG. I assume he spent most of the season injured. 1 goal and 0 assists. And that is why he's not a good option either. Because the best option, of course, is going to be one man and one man only. And that is, of course, Vinicius Jr. He seems to be the man, doesn't he? So tactically, how are we going to do things this season? What is our plan before the end of the episode in terms of tactics? Because I have mentioned them a few times throughout the episode, and that is that we want to be more defensively solid this season. But I think we can be more defensively solid by being a bit more on the front foot. Now, we are looking at bringing in some sort of players. For example, we're talking about Vinicius Jr. and we know that his defensive work isn't quite at the level we want. And that is something that we need to sort of think about in our tactics. How can we make him not defend too much, and some of the other players as well, but press high and defend strongly as a unit? So going into this new season, I'm looking at playing a sort of Donnarumma in goal, of course. A back three is my aim. I want to play a back three with 2 holding midfielders in front, something we've seen from City before under Pep Guardiola. But what I want from my 2 wide centre-backs is for them to play in attacking scenarios as a full-back, drifting round the outside and offering support in the midfield and in wide areas if necessary, with Ruben Diaz the hub at the back, still always with Rodri and Nico Gonzalez or Elliot Anderson, whoever it will be, sitting as a double pivot in front. That is going to be my defensive structure. That is the intention. In front of the midfield too will be just one single man, in terms of one single forward or attacking, creative midfielder in Phil Foden, and he will be provided with attempts to create with the likes of Ryan Cherki and Antoine Semenyo, rotating between the right and left, the 3 very fluid in their positions. At times maybe we play Cherki through the middle, sometimes Foden through the middle, Foden on the right, Semenyo on the right, Semenyo on the left. They can all rotate in all positions. And then we're going to play a front 2. Erling Haaland and perhaps Vinicius Jr. Less defensive work rate on those 2, but a chance to link up together. Now, sometimes I might put Vini on the left, I might put Semenyo on the right, and I might put Cherki and Haaland together and let Cherki play as a false 9. And it somewhat becomes something that we've seen at City before, which is a 3-2-4-1. It can become that time with Cherki and Foden drifting in behind, Vini on the left, Semenyo on the right. But they need to show real discipline, and that is why I think, as Vinicius Jr. adapts to Pep Guardiola, if we were to bring him in, and we're going to try and bring him in, he needs to play alongside Erling Haaland through the centre and let Cherki, Foden and Semenyo be the creative hub in behind. They can drift inside because you've got that Vardiol and whoever comes in the right-sided centre-back or full-back or right-back really to sort of overlap and provide that width as well. And I forgot to add that this tactic can be defensively pragmatic as well, with the wingers returning to sort of wing-back roles. So Nuri, imagine on the left, and whoever comes in as a right wing-back on the right-hand side. Kusanov comes in at centre-back. These are the sort of substitutions we make in game. And if we're 2-3 up, we can be pragmatic, try and keep a clean sheet, go to sort of a midfield 3 with a 2 up top, and then the wing-backs in Nuri and whoever plays on the right side, whoever we bring in, and then Vardiol, Diaz, Kusanov, El Hilali, Vita Hait, whoever in the centre-back roles. That is also a defensive side of the game, and that's how we can be quite pragmatic as well, to try and get more clean sheets and be stronger defensively. The adaptation, the flexibility in this side is something I really like. In some games, in some bigger games, we might play one wing-back and one winger. Semenyo on one side, Nuri in the other. That has the flexibility to play that way. That is my tactical genius of Pep Guardiola maybe for this season, as we look to tweak things every year. Every year, Pep Guardiola does something different. That is my difference for Season 3. That is something to try and accommodate the players we look to bring in, and that is the way things are looking to. We're going to make 3 signings. The intention is to make 3 signings. A left-sided centre-back to back up Joshua Vardiol with the departure of John Stones. A right-sided right-back centre-back to play in that role alongside Diaz and Joshua Vardiol. And then someone to play alongside Erling Haaland. The intention is to replace Jeremy Doku and bring in a man on a free transfer in Vinicius Jr. Will that happen? Who knows? That is the plan for Season 3 as Pep Guardiola signs his new deal. Now, you can see the episodes early. You can go watch episode 2 right now on the We Are City Members Club and not have to wait to see it over the next few days. But if you don't want to, that is fine. You can wait, and you can wait to see a really good episode, I hope, in episode 2. Thanks for watching. Please like the video if you're ready. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. And we'll see you guys for some really exciting action, hopefully, next time.